What is going on, guys, and welcome to another video with your host, as always, K-Mac time. Now, because you do me a huge favor and smash that like button, let's jump right into today's video. Now, Pokemon was one of my earliest gaming experiences I can even remember. I first got my Game Boy in like 1998 when I was 5 years old, and I got Pokemon Yellow version shortly after. I grew up on the full blast of Pokemania, and I'm a lifelong fan of this cute and friendly series, but I started realizing lately, if you stop and take a closer look at the games and read in between the lines, you'll quickly see that Pokemon is much darker than you ever thought it could be. I mean, there's a lot of things that kind of get overlooked or don't connect a lot of the dots, but if you do take the time, it can get kind of dark and kind of creepy sometimes. And over the years, I've discussed dozens of Pokemon theories, everything from Ash being in a coma to Professor Oak being Ash's real father. Links in the description if you guys want to check those videos out, by the way. But just recently, I came across a theory, and I had not thought about it like this before, and it makes a ton of sense once you look into it. Now, what I'm talking about here is I'm asking the question, do humans in the Pokemon universe actually lay eggs, just like the Pokemon? Now, yes, this does at first seem pretty crazy and off the rails, but like I said, there's actually some decent evidence that points to this being true, and 100% of it comes from canon within the games themselves. So with that out of the way, guys, let's jump right into a little bit of this. Now, first, we're going to need a little bit of history, a little bit of backstory about some of the Pokemon in this world. Now, we know that Arceus created the entire universe and is basically a god. I mean, this is clear from its Pokedex entry from Diamond and Pearl, saying, quote, "It is said to have emerged from an egg in a place where there was nothing, then shaped the world." So we can gather that a Pokemon made essentially the entire world that we see in these games. And also, another Pokemon we take a look at here is Mew. It is said to share DNA with every species of Pokemon, and its Pokedex entry says, quote, "It possesses genes of all different types of Pokemon." And on top of that, we see that every species of Pokemon that can breed lays eggs to reproduce. Even the hilarious combination of Wailmer and Skitty can breed together and lay an egg. But how does this tie into humans? Well, in a library in the Sinnoh region, it is said that humans and Pokemon were once the same. The actual dialogue from the game is, quote, "There were once Pokemon that became very close to humans and ate together at the same table. There was also a time there existed no difference to distinguish the two." What that basically means is that there is actual evolution that still exists in the Pokemon universe, as mentioned in several Pokedex entries. So this might refer to the fact that humans and Pokemon such as Machoke and Jinx share a common ancestor somewhere back in history. Also, literally every animal and most of the plants in this universe are Pokemon, and humans are animals, so it makes sense that they too are in fact Pokemon. There are also very weird and several instances of humans turning into Pokemon, mostly into various ghost types like Phantump, but even this weird Kadabra Pokedex entry, it said that he turns into a Kadabra from a small boy. A very weird and different kind of out there kind of Pokedex. Also, note the fact that there's even a human-like egg group, and that's what it's called. There's different egg groups that you can only breed within that group, and one of them is human-like. So Pokemon like Machamp or Jinx are in that because they're very human-like. And for Pokemon that are humanoid in appearance. Obviously, humans are obviously humanoid, and if they're Pokemon, they lay eggs to belong in this group. If you were to do this, it would be easy to assume that a human would be a normal type. But perhaps if they had genes from other Pokemon, they'd be able to use different abilities, much like Psychic or Fire or maybe even Water. We do see this with certain types of trainers. We see the Fire Breathers, we see the Bug Catchers. We also see the Psychic type trainers like the Juggler or Sabrina that have the ability of telekinesis. Now, while Pokemon eggs are always the mother species, they do inherit traits from both parents. That's how the breeding works in the game. So therefore, someone with an Alakazam father and a human mother could theoretically get the ability of telekinesis and use it to bend spoons, much like we see in the game. Basically what I'm saying is that I believe that humans themselves are Pokemon, as we learned in the ancient myths from Sinnoh, and because all Pokemon reproduce by laying eggs, that therefore humans too must lay eggs in the games and in the anime. They just don't show it. And it can even be crossbred to gain skills of different Pokemon, just like you'd breed Pokemon in the games. So it's a very weird and out there theory, and it's pretty mind-blowing, and it's not such a cute little kids game and show anymore, is it? It gets really deep, like I said. But anyway, guys, that's all I have time for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you guys did, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. And subscribe for more videos daily. Also, be sure to check out my other Pokemon theories. There's a link in the end slate. And lastly, I have a special thank you and shout out to my Patreon supporters, WildBoy5699 and Andrew Johnson. Thank you guys so much for helping me out this month and becoming Patreons, and I'm sending out your personal thank yous in the mail later today. If you guys want to join the Toon Squad family and become best friends, and there's a link to the Patreon down below. You guys can check that out. But until next time, guys, remember that it's always KMAC time somewhere. Until then, take it easy and peace out.